Good evening. Here we are again. It's Thursday night, 8 p.m, and it's live stream. Hope everyone is well and had a good week. Been quite a relaxing week on the channel. Not been doing too much. It's just been gently going on. But lots of people have been watching as usual. So good evening, Richard. Hope you're well. So this week, 1,424 views, 10 new subscribers. So welcome to you new people. Hope you're enjoying what we do. So what have you been watching? Well, number 3 is REM with 46 views. It's been nice. Been nice here today, Mick. We've had some sunshine, blue skies, but a lot colder. Yeah, number 2 was the tribute to David Crosby, 71. And lo and behold, number 1 with 160 views is a little show we did with 1990s number ones. Like once again, Ian and Richard topped the polls. 28 days. 5,783 and 26 new subscribers. What have you been watching? Well, if I just say it is dominated by Skinner and McCook. The 3 shows that we've done since after Christmas in the top 3. So number 3 is the 1980s one with 153. 1990s is 160, but number 1 is the 1970s with 192. So it just proves how popular our little shows are. We always have a lot of fun doing them. So the big picture is 132,480 views. We've now got 644 subscribers. We're getting close to 650. No change in your top 3. Jethro Tull, Derek Riggs and Status Quo. Battle of the Debuts. Last week was won by Vangelis. This week we're going a bit new wave synthy. We've got Depeche Mode and Tears for Fears. I went for Tears for Fears today. Not been a very good week for losing musicians. We've lost quite a few this week. So we'll give them a little mention. First one we're going to mention is Philip Spalding. Now, he was a bass player, and it's a case of who hadn't he played with. He'd played with Mike Oldfield, GTR, Elton John, OMD, Seal, Mick Jagger, Randy Crawford. 65, not very sad. Also, we've lost Tim Quay from the vocalist from the Cardiacs. Can't tell you how old he is. We're searching for his age. There's nothing. Also lost a jazz drummer who played with Dave Brubeck, Ella Fitzgerald, Sammy Davis Jr., Frank Sinatra and Tony Bennett. Butch Miles, great jazz drummer, 78. Paul Yankovic of Cold Water Flat, 54, very sad. Lillian Walker from the Exciters, the 60s, 78. And the big one this week, it's very sad, composer, film scorer Burt Bacharach, 94. So very sad that we have lost quite a few musicians, and we will thank them for their contribution to the music industry. So what have I got for you next week? It's a very busy week. probably one of the biggest weeks of output we'll have since we started. So Monday, album ranking, it's a viewer's request, and it's the brilliant J. Giles Band. If you like your boogie and your harmonica and your blues and your rock, that is one for you. Classic album next week, we are going to go to the 80s, and an album that was slated by the critics, but the fans loved it, and that is Duran Duran's Rio. Then we got Tuesday, we've got part 4 of the John Mitchell story. We've reached a band that he was in called Frost, another sort of neo-prog band that he was in. And also, as it's Valentine's Day on Tuesday, I thought that I would do my top 10 love songs. Yes, I am not a cold-hearted person. I do like some romantic songs. So I'm going to share my favourite love songs. Wednesday's marathon. So another request. It's been asked a little while ago. We're going to look at the albums of The Cure, Mr. Robert Smith and company. Good selection there. Thursday. Now, Thursday, we start off with a birthday top 10, and it's for the one and only Mr. Richard McCook. So I'll be revealing his top 10 singles on the day that he was born. He was born in 1966, a good year to be born. So that'll be revealed. And then Battle of the Debuts. We're going to do a rock and roll one next week, and we're going to take 2 people from have I got the wrong date? Is it Sunday your birthday? I got the wrong date, Richard. What date is your birthday? 19th. Oh, I'm only a week early. Oh, well. I got it down as the 18th. We won't be doing his birthday top 10 on Thursday. It'll be on the Sunday. Oops. Ian is Wally of the Weeks. Yeah, 19th. Yes, it will be on the 19th then. So it will be this week, but on the Sunday. That's all right. Not a problem. It'll be done on the Sunday then. No problem. So, where do we get to? Yes. Battle of the Debuts will be the rock and roll one. It'll be 2 piano players, Little Richard and Jerry Lee Lewis. Pick a mix next week is thank you, Rocky. You've just mucked me up. Yes, it is. We're going to be mixing it up, and we're going to have probably a controversial one, but it's someone that has done a lot of work. I know he ended up in prison, but we're going to look at the albums of Phil Spector. We won't be talking about that. We'll be concentrating on the many albums that he was involved with. Friday live album ranking. One of my favourite singers, Mr. Paul Rodgers. We've got 2 new album reviews to do. First one is John Frusciante from Red Hot Chili Peppers, his new album. On Velvet Underground's Mr. John Cale. And on Saturday, we have got a mega one for you. We're going to be doing Mike Oldfield Through the Decades. And I'm going to be doing this with Richard and Joe. So the 3 of us will be on. First time I've done a 3-way. So that'll be interesting. And then on Sunday, we'll do Richard's birthday top 10. Yes. Makes hastily. Yeah, I'm going to have to make an awkward a haste of the thing as well. I'll do that first thing tomorrow morning. So that's all next week. Very busy week. Looking forward to next week. Also, I've got 2 concerts. Well, I've got the disco this week, and I've got the Queen Extravaganza. I will tell you in a moment about ACDC UK. So we'll have a look into what I'm listening to. James Bond now, 18. So this week's weekend Bond movie will be The World Is Not Enough. Gary Newman, I've nearly finished Gary Newman. I've done 15 of the 19. David Bowie, I'm hitting that his dodgy period at the moment. So it's a bit up and down. I've done 18 of the 26. Van der Graaf Generator, we've done 9 of the 13. I'm enjoying that one. The band that I don't know much about, and I'm really enjoying them, is the next one, King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, 6 of the 20. Jeff Beck, 8 of 14, getting through them. Just to think, no, we get one for every decade, right up to the 2010s, which is an easy choice. You've got 2 albums in that decade. Yes. Yeah. I'm not looking. I haven't watched it for ages. The World Is Not Enough. The only thing I like about that is the pre-titles. I like the pre-titles. Anyway, let's go back to what I've been listening to. Dave Brock from Hawk Wind, 4 of his 16. Nick Turner, 4 of 11. The Script, 4 of the 6. New ones popped in this week. We've got Joan Jett and the Black Hearts. Listened to her first album this week. Just like I've listened to the first Narcissus album, the first Camelot album, Count Raven's first album, and Altered Images. The completed ones are ready to go at Ash, The Cause. We know when The Cause are coming on, but and Life Signs. So that's what's been going on. Now, no Wallies of the week, but I have got a little story to tell you and might amuse you. After I finished recording this morning, my landline went off. We looked at the number and I picked and went, hello. Took a little while to get thing. And I got, hello, my name is Mary. Now, this person was definitely not a Mary, not with that accent. And apparently I'm having problems with my internet connections. Well, considering I'm on the glass high-speed thing, I don't have no problems, only when it blips. And I sort of sat here and I got the phone on I put it on thing and I was sitting here at the computer and I thought, okay, let's see where she's from. I knew that she was from somewhere in India. So I know, because I was a scammer, a guy that unfolds these scammers in India. So I basically asked her, what did you have for lunch then? I mean, it was about 9:30 here. And she said, what do you mean? I says, well, I'm not being funny, but you're certainly not called Mary. Because I said, if your name's Mary, my name's Mohammed. And she put the phone down on me. I wonder why. Yes, I looks like I'm on a scam list. But they ain't going to get anything out of me. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not going to do anything because I don't want to get taken off. But hello, my name is Mary. I know lots of people from that world, and none of them are called Mary, John, Fred, Harry. Yeah. That was absolutely brilliant. Anyway, I'll tell you now about my little concert last Friday night for a tribute band called ACDC UK. Probably the best one I have seen. Even the guy that was supposed to be Angus was about 4'3". They all had the right instruments as well. I mean, the guy that had got the Gretsch with the pickups taken out, and they sounded absolutely brilliant. They did songs from both Bon and Brian, but we had songs that I'd never even heard ACDC do. Honey, What You Do for Money, If You Want Blood. I'd never heard ACDC do that, but there was lots of classics: Sin City, Down Payment Blues. If you ever see tickets in your area here in the UK, if you like ACDC, go and check these out because they are absolutely brilliant. My ears rang for 2 days, but but there you go. That's a sign of getting old, I think. Anyway, this weekend I've got the 80s disco tomorrow night. And then on Saturday even, I've got the Queen extravaganza. ACDC UK. The funny thing is, the guy that does Brian comes on with his flat cap on it. He sings it all in Brian. He doesn't keep going from Bon to Brian. He does it like Brian, and they've got all the actions, and like Cliff and Malcolm used to go to the back, and then when they had their little bit of singing, up they'd come, do their singing, and away they went. The guy that does Angus was brilliant. He even got on a table in Let There Be Rock, and they didn't have cannons, but they had cannon sound effects. And the way they start the show is brilliant. There's Thunderstruck, but they do go through like someone on the radio, and they have all the hits, and it's really good. It's a great night. Yeah, they are good. Yeah, so 2 nights out this week. I'll be absolutely shattered come Sunday. So when I'll be doing, luckily it's not Richard's birthday this Sunday, or my eyes will be. That's why I'm not doing any recording this week with anybody, because I'll be gonna have a really thing, watching some rugby and all that sort of good thing. Now this is supposed to be a fruity beer pale. I can't taste any fruit, but there we go. Yeah, been putting things together again for retro ranking for next month. Got some good ones. We're going to start a thing called Childhood Memories. It's not going to be part of the usual schedule, but now and again we're going to get something about childhood memories. Music and things that we used to listen to. We've got one coming up beginning of March, and we've got a special retro ranking as well. I'm going to throw in, but now and again you're going to get these little things. So looking forward to that. Also, there is another McCook and Skinner thing coming up. I've sort of made a list. We're going to do a thing. Richard, and if I've got it right, we're going to go through people's greatest hits albums that got to number 1 through the decades. So that's 60s, 70s. So I'm looking forward to that because I've got some really good greatest hits albums. I do like the greatest hits albums because it's nice when you want something a little bit different. As you see, this week's records behind me, I've sort of cheated a bit when I put them up because basically it's the actual covers of last week's. I just couldn't be asked. And I'll swap them over. Oh, that's not good. Don't know when the next coming. I'm sure they'll be back if they're second at the Picturedrome. There is a Guns N' Roses one coming, but I don't think I'll be going to that. Nah, they're certainly a lot cheaper. Oh, they're in due. I'll tell Lee that when I see him tomorrow. Yeah, lots to choose from. I think I've got. I've gone through. I actually went through my collection today, and I made a list, and I've got about 40. So, but not many of them went to number one. So I'm sure I think I've got about 3 or 4. One of them I've got, and the one I haven't got is Queen's Greatest Hits. I think I've only got one of their greatest hits albums, and that's the third one. And the only reason I've got that because it was bought for me as a present. Because wow. I'm not a greater. I prefer a lot of the deep cut tracks. I have got something coming up on Queen, but it's a little bit different. I'm doing something about Queen that's not. It may upset a few people. Only one album per. Oh, good man, Mick. Usual thing, yeah, no problem. Could be interesting. I enjoyed that one. The 90s one, I'm sure everyone must have watched it by now, was really good because it was every record was sort of different. There was not many. I think there was one, and that was Tubular Bells 2. I finally put my decade together this week, and I have gone. That's what I not call music. Oh, dear me. That could be interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna put Richard on the spot now. More it's not much fun, not Richard exactly, but it's you guys. If you guys seem to like what Richard and I do. So apart from Mastermind Dave, who has come up with some ideas, if anyone would like me and Richard to do something and really challenge us for us to do one of our little Saturday morning things, all you got to do is put it on a comment somewhere, or just either on my channel or Richard's channel, and we'll do one. As if that's Richard's up for it, being challenged by the subscribers about what to do. Take us out our comfort zones. I mean, I know Richard's been outside his comfort zone with Led Zeppelin. Yeah, not things you've got without. Yeah, there are things. Richard doesn't do metal or thrash metal, so he'd be too much out of his comfort zone. And there's some sort of thrash metal that I'm not into. So that's a good one, Ralph. I like that idea. Top 10 David Bat. Oh, gold. That'd be hard. Well, I got a couple of ideas there. I thought about that one this week. Let's throw it open a bit. You see, that one with the guitarists and drummers, that like we've done the decades of the songs, that could be a few shows. Yeah, that'd be good. I know. Tin Machine. I like Tin Machine. A mate of mine went to see them. He went to see them. He'd seen Bowie about a year before in a huge arena. And then he went and saw him in this little shoebox place, just being the guitarist in Tin Machine. Yeah, I'm not included when I do rank David Bowie. We're not having Tin Machine. That's a separate identity. Yeah, been listening to a bit of Cure just to get me brains ready for next week. I forgot how good he was, and I watched a clip of Robert Smith when the Cure were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And Robert Smith, he's got this real bizarre persona on stage, but as an extrovert. But when he's talking on the mic, he's very shy and very humble, and I like people like that. Or like in The Cure. For those of us of an age, remember on the TV, the comedy sketch show, the Mary Whitehouse Experience, and they did this skit on the Cure singing "The Laughing Policeman." Absolutely brilliant. And he's bumped it to put that in your family album. They used to do all songs, but that was the last bits of the sketch. Boom, boom, put it in your family album. How are we doing on the old poll then? Oh, Tears for Fears are winning. I thought that. But then again, I am more of a Tears for Fears fan than a Depeche Mode fan. What I'll say about next week's new album rankings, one of them's going to be probably the most scathing that I have ever done. I'm not going to tell you which one it is, but it will be. I won't have very nice things to say about it, but I will tomorrow, because tomorrow it is Chaos and Colours, Uriah Heep. I've been playing that a lot this week, of course, and the more I hear it, the more I love it. Also got tomorrow Act 2 of the Smashing Pumpkins, which is pretty cool. Already sort of the story. The next one up with I've even know what I'm doing after Gary Moore. Yes, really sort of. We're going to get sort of the start of this, and it leads into it. Another one. Let's count. Yeah, I think we might have a winner in Tears for Fears. But it was all groundbreaking stuff. Oh, that's a brilliant one, Richard. I like that. Yeah, I'm up for that one, Richard. I really am. Yeah, sometimes it's nice to do. Like when I've seen other channels, they praise a lot of it, but when they have a bit of fun and go through some absolute, yeah. I mean, I used to love doing the Stinker album covers. I might bring that back for Easter if we get enough support. We might bring back a Stinkers cover thing for Easter because I know people like looking at them, and there's millions to look at. We've got some really good themed retro rankings coming up as well. Little various events taking place. We're going to be doing a Eurovision one. We're going to do 2 Eurovision ones. We're going to do one on Cup final songs for the Cup final, and then we'll do a coronation one as well. Yeah, albums that you're disappointed in. Yeah, I get that. When you get this album, they've had about, oh, I'm looking forward to this, and you go, it's okay, but they've hyped it up. Well, I did listen to this week. I haven't brought it, but it's on Spotify. This Miracle, the Ultimate box set, and yeah, I won't be buying that. I've heard rumours that I don't know how true it is that Roger Waters has redone Dark Side of the Moon and re-recorded it. One of the people I follow on Twitter said that, and he said, "What's your thoughts?" And my thought on that was, why mend something that isn't broken? That's how I feel about it. Why go and re-record something that was a masterpiece? It should be just left as it is. What was it? The band I did the other week, they did the same. It's all right, but it's not as good as the original. I can't remember which one that was now. I do so many. It's a marathon one. I know that much. So I've got a pair of eyes looking at me. Yes, all right. I think he's getting used to this now because he's not so noisy, is he? Takes him a long time to get used to things. I mean, I've only been doing this. Did you have another dog called Rocky? No, I've only had one Rocky. You've had Marley. This is the first Rocky. Well, I didn't call him. Well, I called him Rocky, but because we rescued him, he'd already got his name Rocky. That's the first Rocky I've had, and he's quite a legend, didn't you, mate? Oh, he's wanting fuss as well. Oh, come here then. There we go. So, hello, everyone. He's come to say hello. 41 years ago. Star of the show, yes. Blue Oyster Cult, Mick. There you go. Oh, dear. Yes, he's got into this habit of getting me up at 5 o'clock in the morning at the moment. Oh dear. Oh dear. Look. Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. Well, hey. Yeah, busy month for Eurovision coronation. Then we've got cup finals not till the 3rd of June this year. Need enough summer. Oh, God. Got a habit of doing that, yawning right in my face. Haven't you? Sloppering his chops everywhere as well. You're quite happy sitting there tonight, aren't you? What? There's nothing there for you. You've had it all now. What are you doing now? What? We'll get down then. We'll get down now. Yeah, all right then. Don't get then. Good boy. There you go. Ugh. Broke up in 84, reformed briefly in 07. Oh, good grief. God, dear me. I can't remember. I squeeze. Squeeze, that's huge 80s band. Rock band or a pop band? I bet Dave's on now going through finding bands that broke up in 84. I think there was a... Might be a minute, folks. Both. What do you think? '84. Come on, da. Well, I'm trying to think. They've got to be an American band, haven't they? The Police? That's a good one, yeah. They... Oh, wow. Blimey. Was that without cheating? Without going on Googly. Yeah, Yeah, someone I was working with at the time went to see them in '07. He said they were pretty good. I'd have liked to have seen them though, back in around 1980. There's certain bands I'd have loved to have seen. That I've seen bands, but there's certain periods that I'd have loved to have seen them, like Blue Oyster Cult. I'd have loved to have seen them back in the '70s, round about when Secret Treaties came out. I think that's when I'd have liked to have really seen them. I'd have loved to have seen Status Quo, obviously, round about '76. Love to have seen Queen again in the '70s. That would have been amazing. And I would have loved to have seen ACDC with Bon Scott. Okay, Richard, I'll give you an email in the week. Yeah, and the other band that I would have loved to have seen once again would have been Uriah Heep. Probably at the time of the Magician's birthday, sort of thing. And I'd have loved to have seen Yes with Bill Bruford, and Genesis with Peter Gabriel. Yeah, they are good. But I'd have wanted to have seen them back in what album? I think the Love Over Gold tour. I would have loved to have seen them on that. But by the time I saw them, they were half the show was Brothers in Arms. I've got plenty of live stuff. ELO again. I would have liked to have seen them on the video that I've got when they on the Out of the Blue tour. I mean, I was lucky enough to see different versions of Jimi Hendrix. God, yeah, that would have been something else. Yeah, I'd love to have seen Pink Floyd at that. I'd have loved to have seen Pink Floyd with Sid and probably on the Animals tour. There's so many bands I'd just love to see them when they come out. I mean, I never got to see Marillion with Mick Pointer, but I did see them with Fish. That's good enough for me. LP Montreal, yeah, that would have been a bit of a good one. I'd have liked to see Muse on the Hullabaloo tour when they play proper music. I think I'd have liked to have seen Thin Lizzy as well. Rush 78. Oh, wow, yeah. That would have been a bit good. See, I'd have liked to have seen UFO with Michael Schenker when they recorded the Strangers in the Night album. That would have been phenomenal. I think I'd have liked to have seen them a little bit earlier myself. And I would have loved to have seen who performed Tommy when it come out. Humble Pie from the 70s. That's a good call. It is a very good album. Very good band. We must feature them on the channel properly. I know we've done a classic album, but we'll have to do a proper ranking. I'd love to have seen Rainbow, and the lineup I would have loved to have seen would have been Ronnie James Dio, Richie Blackmore, Tony Carey, Jimmy Bain, and Cozy Powell. Now, I've seen Whitesnake. Now, I've seen various lineups of Whitesnake, and I've seen. The thing is, I have seen my favourite lineup separately. You get what I'm calling it. I've seen David Coverdale always, because he's always in Whitesnake. I've seen Neil Murray 3 times. Once when he was doing this thing with Bernie, the 3Ms, when they played in the back garden of the King Billy with Bernie Marsden and Mickey Moody. So I've seen that sort of bit. Ian Pate, obviously, I've seen Purple. And John Lord, of course. So I've seen sort of Whitesnake. I think that was that will always be my favourite lineup of Rainbow. I mean, I've got the 2 album. I think I've got it's obviously you've got the Rising album, you've got the live albums as well. Unbelievable lineup. I mean, I did see. I have seen Mark II of Deep Purple. Black Sabbath the Bally? My God. Yeah, I mean, I was lucky enough, as I said, I was lucky enough to see Mark II Deep Purple. Okay, it was 1985, but I saw Deep Purple Mark II, the best lineup. Saw them 3 times with that lineup, actually. I think there is, Mick, but it's on a rather dodgy bootleg. It's amazing one of the best songs on the album is not on any other live albums. No, I don't think I'll be going to Black Sabbath, the ballet. I'd love them to do a rendition of Fairy Wear Boots, though. Ballet in boots, that'll be interesting. I wonder how many, now Ozzy stopped touring, how many Black Sabbath tribute bands will start up. Brainchild of Tony Iommi. My God. It's all that years on the stuff, on the smacks, turned his brain to jelly. No. Did you see when he barked, his tail jumped? Ozzy in a tutu, yeah. What? Oh, Good evening, Ricky. Welcome to this live stream. An album that I can listen to multiple times and I never get tired of. I've got loads. Secret Treaties, Blue Oyster Cult, Rainbow Rising, never get bored of that. The Quo album, don't get bored of that. Clutching at Straws, don't get bored of that. Sheer Heart Attack Queen, don't get bored of that. So there's quite a few that I never get bored of. I mean, at the moment, my favourite album I'm playing at the moment, and it's a new one, it's the new Uriah Heep. Yeah, I think that's an album I don't put it on all the time, but when I do put it on, I do enjoy it. I think there's certain albums, I'm not one of these that will play an album to death. And now, like, we'll take the Uriah Heep. I've been playing it since it came out, at least once a day, so I can get it into my head ready to review it. But after probably tomorrow, well, I haven't listened to it today because I've been rather busy, but after tomorrow, I probably won't listen to it now for about a month or so, and then I'll put it on and go, wow, it's still good. The only albums I do like that is like the Smashing Pumpkins, I will, because once the new album comes out, I will do a Smashing Pumpkins ranking. Plus, I will be doing a Metallica after the new album is out. So I know people have said, when are you going to do Metallica? But they are coming up, but I've left it now until after the new album, so we can include that one. Yellow Out of the Blue. Yeah, that's an album you don't get bored of listening to. What else do I don't get bored listening to? Well, there's 3 Bowie albums I don't get bored listening to. Aladdin Sane, Hunky Dory, and Ziggy Stardust. Or Let It Bleed, Rolling Stones. Yes, I agree, Mick. It's still a cracking album. Now, there is an artist, I'm not going to say because it's sort of spoilers, but there's an artist I've been listening to today that I haven't listened to too much of her stuff. It's a female, so it's coming up in a ladies' day. And I thought, wow, this girl can sing. I was talking to Dave about her. She's a bit of a hothead when she was younger, but now she's in her 30s. She's chilled out a little bit. Oh, and Tubular Bells, Mark Goldfield. Don't get bored of that. It's new. The albums I do get bored with are the ones that everybody thinks, oh, this is the best thing. Are we going to do a dad? Unless someone mentions his name, no. Because one of his songs is the song that really grates on me. Neither. I've always thought Pink's a very good singer. On the Storyteller's Night Magnum, get in, Ralph. Yeah. Yeah. That's a great album. I love it when if you watch the UK Connection on SOT, when they mention Magnum, old Simon Braid does the Bobcat Lee. Absolutely brilliant. I know I don't normally plug other people's shows, but I'll plug the UK Connection on Saturday. They're going to go through the Coverdale and Page album. So I've been listening to it as well because they do the order that they like the songs. So I've been listening to it. So I'll probably watch it Sunday. So by Monday, I'll be putting my version up. When Stephen Reed put it up on his Twitter page, I thought, boy, I've been listening to that corker. Got to listen to the album. Absolutely brilliant album, that is. I love you like this. That was one of the things. When I first put it up, it didn't do anything. Then I put it in the community on this day, and all of a sudden, everyone wanted to watch it. That's a damn fine album. Yeah, it's like in the Gary Moore, which we're doing after John Mitchell. I've already done one of the albums he's involved in, and I wanted to talk about it again without redoing it. Good evening, Stephen. And so I've sort of cheated a bit and put one of the parts as like all bits and bobs together so we can talk about a certain album. But then again, it's my channel. I can do what I like. I think I confused Dave a little bit, but I think he got the gist of it. So, yeah, and don't forget, on March the 3rd, I will be launching a competition where you can win money. But there's only one snag is you've got to make a video of it. Now, if you're camera shy, as long as you talk about it and put some art in it, I'll count it. Well, I know there's a lot of people camera shy, but so if you want to enter it, as long as you do a short video of your things. Hi. Can I call you by your real name, or is that a secret? Because I know your real name. Talking to other people. I'm glad you enjoyed that, Stephen. Now you'll notice a jump in that. I had to do a bit of some editing because something happened during when I was recording it, and you'll see it at Christmas in the bloopers. Yes, I did the thing. Forgot to take something out the room, and it started ringing. So I had to say. Yeah. Oh, good evening, Simon. Looks like you had a good haul of records. I haven't been to anywhere at the moment. I've been too busy. I might actually, I'll do them probably in a couple of weeks' time when everything's calmed down. I'll go into Northampton and go around the charity shops and see if I can find anything. I was actually given something this week, or last week. I was given the tip. Lee brought the T-Rex box set that's got the slider on it and all the live stuff from Wembley and that. And he'd got a faulty disc in it. And they sent him a new copy and he kept the old ones. So he gave me well, I forgot that he couldn't play them. So what I did, I said, well, I'll have them. And I put them into my machine and it ripped it. So I've got this box set now on my iPod. So I will be doing a review of that. It's pretty good. They are a great forgotten prog band. I love them. They are absolutely brilliant. Frank Borman is a great guitar player. Absolutely brilliant. I'm not keen on their 80s stuff because that's, as you know, it was absolute shocking. But their later stuff and their classic stuff I love. I mean, the last two albums, although I wanked them halfway through, they're brilliant albums. But as I said on the show, they're not albums you can put on and potter about. When you want to listen to them two albums, you have to sit down and listen. But I'm into, I like history and I like the Joan of Arc story. I mean, I've been to Reims Cathedral and all that, so I love the concept of that. I really do. And obviously, I love Atlantis and the myths. That's why I like the Ocean album so much. Just a brilliant, brilliant band. Pink Cream 69. I don't think it is. Yeah, we have got some good prog bands coming up. We're going to do Renaissance very shortly. Focus is due up. Van der Graaf Generator. The Caravan is another one that will be added. So you'll get your dose of the prog. As I'm into prog, you're not going to get. We're always going to have to revert to prog. It's been very proggy this week, really, when you think about it. Had Eloy, Kino. If you've never listened to Kino, go and give them a listen. I'll put the links into their albums on the show as well. And we got a bit of prog tomorrow in the live album. IQ, yeah. They're on the list as well. Tomorrow we're doing the live albums of Gentle Giant. Well, the ones I've got. I mean, I've got 12. Is it 12? Something like that. There's loads, but there's a lot of repeats, and I don't tend to buy them if they're repeats. Got some rather dodgy ones as well. So I'm looking forward to that. So if you love your prog, tomorrow we've got Gentle Giant live. What amazes me about Gentle Giant, their live stuff, how they produce exactly what's on the album. Yeah, IQ will be coming out of definitely coming out soon. Because we haven't got once Van der Graaf Generator is finished, I'm going to have to find another prog band, and I think IQ will be the next one I'll be getting my teeth into. Well, it doesn't take long to get into IQ because I've got most of their albums. There's only one or two that I'm missing, but I know they're on Spotify, so I'll be able to listen to them. Might even download them because I can download off Spotify because I've paid a lifetime license to do it. So I don't think I'm cheating. I pay me premium each month, Spotify, and I paid for the thing. Rasaga, not overly familiar, but obviously I've heard of them. But I must dive into some. I've not been in. I haven't got much of the Italian prog. The Enid, yes, they're on the list. Guy I used to know actually went on tour with the Enid back in the 80s. I actually met Mr. Godfrey because he came to the King Billy with my mate. But not many people knew who he was, and he was quite grateful for that. Yes, it was when I got introduced. He went, "This is yes, I know who he is. You don't have to say his name." And the Enid should be on the list. I wouldn't, but yeah, keep the progsums. Yeah, I do like a bit of Neil Young. He's on the list to do, but because he's got 4 billion albums. But we will be doing a story on David Crosby, so I'm sort of putting that one together. So we'll get some Neil Young, and yeah, Neil Young will be done properly because I've really enjoyed. I enjoyed doing the David Crosby. Moxie on the list? I don't think they are. I'm sure they will be in about 30 seconds, Mick. Anyway, Mick, have you watched today's walk down the wander down the sidewalk? Was watching talking about brand new key Melanie, and I put the lyrics up on Spotify. Very double entendre. Definitely a misses. So yeah, I enjoyed today's. Some great tracks. Yeah, there's some of them in today's I didn't know. Now that Joy, I've got it by the Ventures, so I know that track. Yeah, I mean the number one. I don't like that version as much as. Yeah, I think everybody gets it now. Yeah, the number one today, the Al Green, Let's Stay Together. I prefer Tina Turner's and the Simple Minds version. But hey ho. Yeah, it went all over our ads. But I don't know if you know, over here in the UK, back in the 70s, 76 time, we had a band from Somerset in the West Country called the Wurzels. And they did a version of that called I've Got a Brand New Combine Harvester. So I'll give you the key. I've got 20 acres. You've got 43. So I've got a brand new combine harvester. Yeah. 4 songs. Oh. I think the ones I really knew were the Badfinger song. Melanie. The number 1. Don McLean and Joy. But the one I didn't know was the Three Dog Night. I'd never heard that track until about 3 weeks ago. I thought, what a cool record. Yeah. I'll have to do something on novelty songs again. Oh dear me. My She That Can't Be Spoke About, because the one in here's I've hit it so it doesn't say. But the one in the lounge, which is through there and round there, started waffling on. I must have a big gob. Yeah, I might do some more. Well, I might do one on Nectar or on the list. I might do some a retro ranking on songs that have been altered. I've definitely heard there is a band called Moxie, but I don't know where they are. Definitely Nectar on the list. Oh, Moxie. There we go. As long as they're on Spotify. Yeah, the person that asked for Bertha, they will be doing on a ladies' day. I know there's only 2 albums, but they will be done. They've been on the list a little while, but Symphony X, great band. I've done them. I like Russell Allen. I've done him, and I've done his Allen and Land and Allen and Olsen. Done all them. There are on there, so just Star One. Oh, there's a band I haven't heard of. Well, I've heard of lots of stuff, but not Star One. I wonder why I missed that. I'm sure I'll be looking into them, and Dave will be adding them into the list. $25. God, that's a few albums. Oh, cool. He did. That's why I know them. I think with Tommy Bolin, when he joined, a lot of people didn't like him when he was in Purple. Now, my thing on Tommy Bolin is the tracks off the Come Taste the Band are great, but when he started playing the Blackmore stuff, it didn't work. But I know Tommy Bolin was a great guitar player. I've heard some of it. I've got some of his solo stuff, and that's fantastic. A really underrated guitar player. Lone Star. God, I haven't heard that name in yonks. As you can see, he's turned his head away from me. I'm barking, which means he's getting tighter. Is brilliant. Yeah. Well, love Child. That riff on that is terrific. Oh, let's turn back round this way now. Anyway, time is cracking on. So, I'm going to abruptly say it's time to go. So don't forget, tomorrow we've got a busy day. Bit of Gentle John in the first live albums. And then we've got Uriah Heep and Smashing Pumpkins' new albums to discuss. Busy week next week, so be very busy. I'll be back here same time next week. Enjoy what you're doing at the weekend and enjoy yourselves, and thank you for watching. And we'll get Richard's birthday on the right day. Catch you all later. Thank you very much, Ralph. I will see you all soon. So, tatty bye for now.